Drills Talk, episode 134. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 benefits of delayed gratification. This is based on a blog I wrote in the past entitled Everything Now, Nothing Later. Everything now, nothing later is a result of not utilizing or being able to utilize or practice delayed gratification. We want everything now. We chase everything now, and then we end up with nothing. Why do we play this game? Because we don't understand delayed gratification. We don't understand that we cannot have everything now. We live in a microwave society to where information is everywhere, but success isn't. And we need to understand that there's a difference between grasping information and grasping success. Let's go.
Yo, Drills.
Drills Talk, episode 134. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 benefits of delayed gratification. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, show your love however you would like to show your love. Here we're an entrepreneurship-based channel focused on mindset, motivation, and overall wellness. Every Monday, we have a new blog. Every Wednesday, there's a new Drills Talk. And I also post motivational videos, and I hope that you check those out whenever you need them. Let's get started. Number 1. Number 1 is focus. How can we practice delayed gratification with focus? Focus is telling us constantly that we are choosing to chase one thing at a time. We can't focus on everything that we want, right? So focus kind of wheels us in. It kind of makes us, go on that straight line. We're in the straight and narrow because you cannot focus on multiple things. If I want this thing over here and I want that thing over there, I can only focus on one of them at a time. So focus allows us to calm it down and understand that we are working towards a list of things that we want in our life, but we can only knock out one at a time. And when we do knock out one at a time, we never have to deal with that everything now, nothing later scenario because we'll get one thing that we want. And we have to understand that with that focus and getting that one thing, we're knocking something off our list, which means that we can focus on the next thing. Which that accomplishment may help us get, and we don't understand that because we're trying to get all 5 of the things that we want. We want all 7 of the things that we want. We want to do everything that we ever aspire to do in our lives, and we don't do it now. Why? One thing that I understand from young age and getting into, my older ages is we rush to do everything at a young age and get nothing. And then we get a little older and we understand that if we just slow down and focus, we'll get a lot more stuff done and we'll have a lot more accomplished. So that's the reason why you have these kids who are graduated from college who want to take over the world. And I was one of them. And you get through your 20s and you have all these aspirations. You may be moving up the corporate ladder, but you look at your bank account and you look around and you say, I don't have as much as I should have. If I was just focused on this one thing, I would have been a lot better off. And then you understand that and you get in your 30s and you start grasping and accumulating things and accumulating knowledge and utilizing it with a focus. And you see, okay, well, when I get into my 40s, I'm going to have a lot more than I had going into my 30s. That's something that you understand as you get older. But people of old age, if you ask them for advice or what they, would tell somebody younger, what they would tell their younger selves, they would tell them to slow down. So you can listen to me, a young guy, or you can listen to an older person who, has been through it, and they're going to tell you the same thing. Believe me, I've asked them. Slow down, focus. It will happen. Number 2. Number 2 is steady progress towards goals. With that focus, of course, you have that steady progress to follow up with it. Focus is going to have you on the straight and narrow. Steady progress is going to make sure you get to that goal. And yes, motivation might be a factor, but if you are motivated, you will focus and you'll get to where you want to get to. Delayed gratification is saying, okay, well, I know that I'm going to get it. It's not a negative thing. Delayed gratification is still the word gratification in there. It's just pause. It's just going to be later. It's understood that it's going to take some time to get. And with that, It doesn't mean that it's going to take years or decades. It just means it's not going to be today. You may have aspirations of being financially free and, being able to be your own boss and move as you want to and travel the world. And nobody's saying that that can't happen. But the world's telling you that that can't happen now. And if you try to make it happen and you're saying, okay, well, I have a credit card and I'm just going to, go on that trip. Now, yeah, you can make that trip happen now, but you're going to pay for that lack of delayed gratification, right? In the form of interest. And if you can't make that payment in the form of bad credit, and then you're going to have to be delayed in your gratification because you're going to have to wait until you build that credit back up, to make up for that lack of delay, that lack of discipline, that lack of focus. Now you could have went to Dubai, a couple years later, but you decided to put that on your card and max it out. You had a good time. You made it happen as you want to do. You want to live that life. But the win was a mistake. That wasn't supposed to happen now. That was supposed to happen when you can put it on your credit card to get the benefits from the card, the cash back or the miles, and then pay it off within a month or two. And you weren't there yet. So now you got to pay extra for it. And what do you end up in? Like, debt, right? Why? Everything now equals nothing later. We don't want to do that. We want to do it a little better. Actually, a lot better. Number three. Number three is it lessens the chances of major setbacks. We don't want major setbacks, but when you attempt to accumulate everything fast, you usually increase the risk of losing everything you have. It's a gamble. If you are familiar with gambling, if you want to make $1,000 and you bet $1,000, okay, you have a chance of getting that very quickly, right? But if you lose that one bet, then not only do you not have that 1,000 you were trying to make, you lose that 1,000 that you put on the table to risk, right? So our $1,000 is time. We usually blow our 20s. Most people blow their 20s. You have a very small few that kill it in their 20s, and that's because they were like mindset focused as teens, and they knew exactly what they needed to do, how they were going to do it, and most 20-year-olds don't have it, right? So we blow our 20s. A lot of people blow their 30s too, but most people get it together in their 30s. Why do you get it together in your 30s? Because you've wasted that time. You've bet that $1,000 a couple of times and lost it and had to accumulate it again. But eventually you stop accumulating it again and putting it back on the table. You start to hold it. And you start to say, you know what, I'm just going to make another 1,000, as opposed to forcing the issue and trying to, gamble or push my way or force my way to the next 1,000. It takes discipline. It takes some time, but once you get that, once you understand that, things just start getting a lot easier. Things slow down. You become a lot more calm. You understand that, yes, I want something, but I'm not going to get it now. And if I can even make it happen, I'm still going to be disciplined enough to know that I have to wait, because it's going to be easier and more enjoyable later. Number four. Number four is it breeds appreciation of success. Think about being a little kid, maybe kindergarten, first grade, and just thinking about how far high school graduation was. You didn't even think about college graduation, right? Just high school. You see the real big kids go to that big school and all, and it was just so far away. But as kids, we weren't thinking about graduating, right? From high school. We were enjoying our grade. Then we were, ready to get to the next grade. Oh, I'm from kindergarten to first grade, or I went from first grade to second grade. Eventually, you become a senior in elementary, right? We're enjoying the journey. Why are we enjoying that? Yet we get to adulthood and there's no enjoyment. We got to get everything now. I have to get everything I want now. I want to start my own business now. I want to be able to travel the world now. I want that car now. I need my house now. But you think about it, like, if your entire life is to accumulate these things and you are successful, say at 23, 24, what else are you doing? What's next? If your goals in life is to one day have a great car, have a great house, right? Have a great business, and you do it all in your 20s, what exactly are you appreciating in your 30s? What are your goals in your 30s? And I know some people say, well, you just set new goals, but I mean, you've had these goals since you were, maybe a teenager, maybe high school times. You're like, well, I see my parents working. I see, everybody's not doing too well in my family. I don't want to do that. Okay, well, I'm going to be very focused. I'm going to set my goals and I'm going to accomplish them. And you happen to be, extremely lucky and diligent, and success just comes to you very early. 23, 24, 25, 26. And now what? You say you set new goals. What are those goals? Because you were busy working and accomplishing them goals in the 20s. So what were your new goals being set? Like when were they being set? When was that? So you got to think about that too. And I'm not saying don't succeed, but I'm saying if you do succeed, then what? You still have your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And I know like those years you want to enjoy and you want to sit back and relax, but how bored would you be if you accomplished everything in your 20s? One is not very possible anyway, but let's say you do. What's next? Do you have a what's next? Most of us don't. So enjoy the journey. And when you do accomplish something, you'll appreciate it so much more than if you were to get it when you were just a snot-nosed kid with some dreams and all of a sudden everything that you ever wanted is in your hands. Look up those people and see how they're doing in their 30s and 40s. Not so well. Drills Talk, episode 134. These are the top 4 benefits of delayed gratification. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's drills.com. Check this shit out. It's Drill.